right, I'm recording this right after the Vita video, but here we have Vita, of course, here on the CN server. Welcome everybody to the CN 7.8 early access CN server, just early look ahead. We have our Vita video already up, so go check that out if you guys haven't already done so. It's a banger. I kind of ran through it pretty quickly, but that's because it is currently almost 4 a.m. as I'm recording this video, and I'm afraid of losing access. But here we're going to take a look at the technically second character being featured here in version 7.8. It's technically an old character, but she's getting a refresh. She's getting a divine key just like we had with other characters, and that is, of course, Hersher of Flame Scion. Now, pretty much what is going to be giving Hersher of Flame Scion her Astral Ring specialization, as we see here, is this new divine key. So if I just take this off really quickly, put on her old divine key. Is this level 65? I cannot tell. Yeah, it is. We see that she loses that Astral Ring specialization, so that becomes a thing because of this brand new divine key exclusive to Hersher Flame Scion. I'm assuming there's Hersher Flame Scion. Sorry, Hersher Finality. I'm assuming there's probably some Hersher Finality text in here. I can't read Mandarin, as I've stated multiple times. You know, I can read Spanish, English, obviously.
Baby, you got something in your nose.
I can read some Japanese. Mandarin, not in my wheelhouse, unfortunately. But so we have Rite of Oblivion here. This is also some sort of Rite of Oblivion thing for damage bonus, of course, with those three. There's also some World Star stuff in here. This is Domain Resonance, so I guess you can technically use Kiana with World Star teams to trigger resonance attacks. Honestly, pretty interesting. Definitely looking forward to learning more about that on the live server, global server, when it comes to the global side within like a month and a half. Look out for October. But here, of course, we have the new set for Kiana as well to further boost her fire damage and also just damage when dealing with Astral Ring stuff. I can't really say much into it. I haven't like translated stuff myself. I haven't looked at any official translations. But here we have all these different arts. I'm not sure who this is for, but she be good looking. Nothing pretty much changes within her kit. I believe there's a, where is it? It should be here. Yeah, so she gets this new node that essentially allows her to function similar to how like all the new part 2 characters function as well, because of the fact that she has a jump in her kit. By, of course, as you guys already know, just pressing Q will ultimately raise her up into the air if you guys have already played with Hofi. Activating this allows you to basically just press space instead of Q in order to jump. Kind of makes everything feel more natural, especially with the fact that she is technically a part 2 character now, even though she is still a part 1 character at base, just with a divine key. Now, regarding the controversy of this divine key, yes, you won't be able to get the max attack buff that you can get from this unless you pull 3 copies of this. I know it really is unfortunate, but just, I mean, I'm personally going to do it. I should not have pulled 3 sentences. I would have had more resources available to me if I just saved that. I could have pulled 3 of Hofi's divine key, but it is what it is. You're going to get the maximum attack buff from pulling 3 copies of this. So not just 1, but pulling 2 additional copies to get that synergy level up to synergy level 3. We see it at 15% here. What is it at base? 5%. So 5, 10, 15, you get each synergy level kicks it up by 5%. Not too shabby. Now, let's go ahead and talk about her gameplay. Now, of course, here we have Kiana, Hersher of Finality. And as we see, you know, she's got the Astral Ring here, Rite of Oblivion. Now, to no surprise, you're probably like, oh, she must have a new kit. No, she doesn't. Pretty much her kit remains exactly the same as discussed in my Hersher Finality guide. Pretty old, I will say at this point, but you should go check it out regardless, because that's where I go into all the depths and all nooks and crannies of Kiana, even though it is in the old style, old fashion of guide making. It still holds up to this day, and I would consider to still be a pretty good guide. So if you want to learn more about Hersher Finality, definitely go check that out. Everything with her remains the same. All her attacks, all her weapon actives, and everything. Even with the new divine key, her weapon active remains exactly the same. She still gets absolute time fracture. She gets the surfboard finisher, and her, of course, her ultimate remains exactly the same as well. So you're probably wondering then, well, Jay, if her ultimate is remaining exactly the same, if her entire kit is remaining exactly the same, then what is it that actually constitutes her being Astral Ring now? And I'll tell you, when you activate Astral Ring, everything remains the same pretty much, but she gets an enhanced weapon active, And on top of it, her weapon active, or her combo attack, also regens stellar intensity, astral intensity. Not too shabby, right? It remains only for a short while, so we'll have to go back and get some really quick. But you do get a short window of actually getting kind of more damaging attacks. Now, if we just go ahead and activate this again, you'll see it goes by really fast. And the reasoning for that is because I missed it. That's awesome. Essentially, this Astral Ring, the Stellar Outburst, it goes by really fast. What essentially happens is you get an enhanced combo attack, and you also get a different ultimate, as I wanted to show. So we're just going to go ahead and activate this here. Go ahead and use weapon active. Get that enhanced combo attack, and this amazing Finger Blast ultimate for massive damage. Spoiler alert, very reminiscent to kind of what she does at the end of part 1.5 versus Vita. So it's pretty cool, and she gives the typical Kiana fashion of winking, head slightly tilted to the side. I love it. I love it so much. Love it a lot. Love it a lot. Love it a lot. And it also seemed like she got a second different weapon active, so you can kind of choose. I'll have to take a look at that really quick once our Stellar Outburst comes back up. Okay, so I'm just gonna activate this here. You kind of get a second weapon active in a sense. Nah, I think it just depends what weapon active you have at that time. But you pretty much just get an enhanced version of that weapon active. Now, if you're wondering, of course, also what teams are going to be viable with Hofi, of course, you can run the full Rite of Oblivion team of her, Vita, and Coralie. I don't fully believe that this is the best team to run with her, though, unfortunately. Oh, I was right. You do get an enhanced version of it. And unfortunately, I just couldn't do it fast enough because I didn't have enough stacks charged up. You kind of got to have enough stacks charged up to do that enhanced charge attack, unfortunately. So ideally, you would just have your stacks charged up, do weapon active, finish off the final 3 stacks, do your combo attack, and then instantly finish off with ult. So that seems to be a common thing with Rite of Oblivion Valkyries, as I've seen with Vita in the past, is they seem to have a very short window that their Astral Ring is activated for, especially with Hofi. She typically just wants to be, when she goes into Astral Ring, combo attack, ult, boom, and then you just go back to your normal game plan. Now, as I discussed earlier for team comps, Kiana, you can technically run the Rite of Oblivion team comp with her. It can work. It does work because of the fact that Rite of Oblivion does get a boost to its overall damage based off of how many Rite of Oblivion Astral Ring Valkyries you have in the team. Ideally, though, this is the caveat to Hofi and why, as good as she is, I don't recommend getting her unless, 1, you're getting Vita, or 2, you have what I'm about to say. And it's very similar to what I mentioned in her guide, her specific guide as well. So go check that out, as I've already said, if you haven't already done so, because a lot of the information pertaining to Hersha Finality still holds up to this day. And that is, with Hersha Finality, I passed the Valkyries. You really want to have the trio here. You really do. And both Bronya and Kiana, I believe it's this line right here, or both Bronya and Kiana, both Bronya and Mei, they got additional lines to all of their stigmata, where part of their, like the part of the 3-piece, you get an additional bonus for having Hersha Finality in the team, but also with that Astral Ring Rite of Oblivion active. Where is it? I don't see it here. I can't tell. It might be this last little bit. Wait, no, that's the weapon. Sorry, it's this. Yeah, I remember translating that myself using Google Translate. It's that little extra portion in the 3-piece. There are additional bonuses that do get activated through having the trio here as a whole, and the overall like rotation doesn't really change at all. You're pretty much doing the same exact game plan. It's just now you have Astral Ring activated, Astral Ring available to you, and your overall game plan remains pretty much exactly the same, as I'll demonstrate here. So pretty much just start off with Bronya, go to town, everything, and I mean everything remains exactly the same. Kiana comes in, weapon active, not too shabby. Mei comes in, dodge and weapon active, combo attack and ult to bring Kiana back out. Absolute time fracture here, weapon active. team ult. And I don't think I have enough for this. I don't, because the fact that it's off cooldown now, so we'll just get the enhanced combo attack. Oh, we didn't get it. It's okay. So you have the option of doing that, but ideally you would not. You would actually go for the Rite of Oblivion. So we're just going to go ahead and reset this really quick. All right, our Astral Ring is officially recharged, which means now we're going to go back in. Everything will just keep exactly the same. The actual rotation as a whole. And the only thing that I'm going to actually change up is that once we go back to Kiana after May, is I'm going to activate Rite of Oblivion right away. Ult here, Kiana comes back in. Boom. Didn't get that. Absolute time fracture. And then hold ult for the finisher. Finger bang. Boom. Oh man, 31.75, 31.8 million damage. It keeps going up just a little bit. That's basically 31.9 million damage. Not too shabby. Honestly, pretty freaking amazing, if I do say so myself. But that's kind of like, sorry, I need to drink water. That's basically the gist of Kiana, her Share Flame Sound. Her overall just means of method, her means motive, you know what I'm trying to say. Her means of actually, you know, conducting business on the field remains overall exactly the same. The only difference is that rather than activating your elf when Bronya goes to ult / charge attack, you're activating Rite of Oblivion. You're activating your Astral Ring as soon as Kiana comes back onto the field after May, so that you get the enhanced charge attack, which I didn't show off in that rotation, but basically it's going to be the exact same thing. You'll have enough time to get your absolute time fracture off, do your weapon active and 5 combo attacks during that, and then you can finger bang ult instead of the team ult, and you'll still get an absolutely massive amount of damage. So as I've said, this is Herrscher Finality's premium team. Of course, as I've already said in the past, you can rock with the Rite of Oblivion team. Ideally, Vita would be in the lead spot, as I did note in my Vita video, but with Kiana, Herrscher Finality, you can run her in the lead slot as well. Your rotation will just be a little bit different. I'll show off that rotation here. All right, so I completely forgot to record this, so I'm doing a second recording after the fact. We're gonna go ahead and show this off. This is actually my first time doing this with Kiana in lead, so just bear with me. Just bear with me for a second as we figure this out with Kiana in the lead. Pretty much you just rotate with the QTEs, I'm just presuming. Vita comes in. I'm just gonna go ahead and activate her ult, of course. Weapon active. Vita really is the main glue that holds this team together, I will say. All right, we'll go ahead and get up to that many stacks. That way we can just boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. You love to see it. I guess the amount that gets refilled is all dependent based off of how many Rite of Oblivion characters you have in your team. Not too shabby. This might be, you know, a nice, decent option. That's just a short rotation as well. Pretty decent damage as well. It might take a little bit to gain your Astral Ring stacks back, but that's just, you know, a little bit of a showcase. A little bit of a showcase with the Rite of Oblivion with Kiana in lead. Not too shabby. You know, I'm down to try it more myself. We'll just have to wait until live servers. We'll just have to wait until global servers. And then, of course, you know, as I've already stated, the trio is, of course, her best in slot team. That is where she's going to just absolutely thrive the most, as these three were tailor-made to all go together, you know, with the joint combo attacks and everything like that. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, if you guys did learn something about Kiana Herrscher Finality with the new Divine Keys, I would appreciate if you guys would drop a sub on the channel, a like on the video, and a comment down below if you're going for her Divine Keys, if you have her, if you're going for her. I don't recommend backpulling, even though she is going to be like fairly good. As far as her multiple copies of her Divine Key, it is what it is. You know, we can't really do anything about it. That's what the devs have decided. It is a bit unfortunate, you know, having to pull for refinements, pull for synergy copies of you know, a new weapon, but it is a divine key, so just keep that in mind. You're going to be losing out on attack bonuses if you don't pull multiple copies. If it comes back in the future, definitely it'll more than likely be coming back in the future. Keep your eyes on it whenever it does come back. If you're only going to pull one copy, definitely try to get subsequent copies every time it comes back, because that attack bonus is going to be actually pretty huge. So if you guys enjoyed, I appreciate a sub on the channel, drop a like on the video, go comment down below what you're going to be doing for Kiana, if you're looking forward to her coming back into the meta. I am. Be sure to go check out that video on Kiana, as well, as I've already stated multiple times throughout this video, as well as the other two Hershers, Hersh of Truth and Hersh of Origin, since they mesh so well with their kit. And with that being said, be happy and kind to those around you, all your friends and family, and I will see y'all in the next video. I need to work my outro. Johnny, bye bye. All right, there's my recording. That's my team rotation recording with Red Oblivion. What time is it? It's 4 a.m. now, bro. It's 4:15. I need to fucking go to bed. I'm trying to not to wake up the family.